Hey, watch me take this flyer from a sports flyer to a book signing flyer in this episode. Come on, let's go. Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Make It Your Own Design Academy. My name is Cynthia Akita, and I am your brand strategist and your brand and web designer here at the Design Pharmacy. And in today's episode, I'm going to show you how I took a sports flyer and changed it up for it to work for a book signing flyer instead. And so I'm going to show you a lot of time lapses as I work on the flyer. So bear with me. There will be some voiceovers as I go through it. It was recorded ahead of time, just so that I could catch the footage and do the voiceover later. So before we get going, make sure you like and subscribe, and please share this with anyone that you know who needs some encouragement as they are designing their templates, some guidance, and let's get started. Hello, hello. Um, you'll see here that I am trying to decide between two different templates. Both of them are sports templates, and what I was essentially looking for in a template was one that had an individual front and center of the canvas. And so I just happened to come across these sport flyers, and I was like, hey, I could actually use that because I want my author to be the focal point of the flyer. Although I may not necessarily want her in the complete center of the flyer, I definitely want her picture to be there and to be grand. And so that's what I was looking for when I was looking for templates to choose. Now, yes, this is very much giving game day, but at the end of the day, you can use any type of a flyer to as your canvas that you can manipulate and turn into something that you really love. And so you'll see here that, I really liked I guess you can kind of, I don't know if it's like like a tape type of texture over the letters. Like when you see Final Game, you see um, some of that ruching of the paper. And so I thought that was kind of cool and could fit, the author and books and all of that stuff. So pardon me for my terminology, but yeah, I can't think of the name of it, the proper name for it. But you'll see that I'll change it to book and then signing. And ignore me as I move, items up and down. I should have just clicked on position and then clicked on layers in order to just click on the exact layer that I wanted to change versus going through the hassle of like moving things up and down. But sometimes when you're in the zone, you don't really think about all the possible options and making things a lot easier for yourself. So pardon me for all of that. But I'm going to go through that and then I'm just going to speed things up a little bit so that you can kind of see the process that I go through and you'll hear my voice here and there as we go along. All right. All right, so here you can see that I'm finally going in to add the author's picture. She had amazing photos taken and gave me access to them so that I could play around and see which ones would work where, so on and so forth, because I did create all of the marketing for this book launch. And so you could see her happy, looking real good in her photo, beautiful outfit. And I'm trying to put her there on the side so that you know, her head is a little bit on top of the wording, but not covering it up too much. And so I'm just adjusting things because, again, I want to focus on the placement of her photo and make sure that it is looking amazing. So you'll see me go through that, and then I'll bring her face back up. There we go. Now here I'm taking note of the texture that's in the background, and I'm working to see what I can do to kind of change it around to fit the theme of the design that I'm working on. And so you'll see that it's pretty dark and grungy. And although I like the texture, I just don't like the color. So I'm using the duotone feature to kind of change that up and make it a little bit brighter to fit the brightness of this author's book and the vibe of all of that. So you'll see that I'm playing around with different shades of pinks and creams, because those are a part of her colors for the launch and a part of, you know, the color that she wore as well in her photos. So I changed that around so that, as you can see, it looks more bright. We started off with a dark color and now we have a brighter color. And so I'm pretty satisfied with that. I lighten it up by changing the transparency, because the thing about textures is that some textures you want them to be loud and clear, but others you just want it to be there to add like a subtle hint of there's something there, but not really, without it being so loud. And so that's what I was working on there by just adding some transparency. It allows the texture to still remain. As you can see, it's not like a blank white background, but it gives it a little bit of oomph that I'm really looking for. And generally I do love that with a lot of the designs that I work on, just to kind of change things up a little bit and change it from just that plain background. All right, so here you'll see that I am borrowing a gradient from one of the flyer options that I had, and I'm using it here to kind of soften things up. Generally, when you have a photo that's abruptly cut off and it's not a full body photo, you don't want people to see that stark difference between, you know, the photo and the rest of the page. And so you can either use a gradient or a blur, which can be found, both can be found in your elements section, to kind of taper that off. But although that was my initial goal, I ended up stretching out the photo all the way to the end and making her picture a bit bigger, instead of just trying to taper that off. But the gradient is still useful here because it makes things, what's the word? Like, it allows you to place text on top that can actually be visible and clear for the reader. And so if you have the opportunity to ever use gradients to add some contrast from the background and all the photos you have so that people can focus on the text, that will be a great addition to your graphic or to your design. So here you see me grabbing a mock-up that I created of the book, front and back cover. I had the pleasure of designing the book cover for my author. And then you'll see I play around with the sizing of the book, and I'm testing out the fonts that were used. I decided not to change them because I did like how bold and elongated they were. And I knew that the fonts that were used in the book were a bit more thin and small, and I didn't want to use that on the flyers. I wanted something that was a bit more bold and that would catch the attention of others. And so you'll see me putting in all the extra details and kind of playing around with sizing and still playing around with the other fonts to see if I like the placement of them, so on and so forth. And so designing it's a huge experiment. You play around, you see what you like, see what you don't like, and then you kind of go on from there. And now you'll see that I'm adding some confetti, some blurred out confetti, because gold is actually a big part of her entire book branding. She is a floor wrap designer, in addition to being an author now. And so having that gold staple, which she uses on her floors, most of her floors, and with it being a great highlight of her writing this book, you'll see on the cover of her book, Celebrate, it's actually in gold foil. And that gold foil is also a nod to the floor wraps that she does, which are most often done in gold. So just that gold touch adds to everything. And you'll then see me recreate this, but in another color scheme, because her photos are in pink and in the green outfit as well. And so you'll see me kind of recreating it and changing the color scheme a bit to fit that green photo that she has. And then we go on from there. I hope you like the design. Let me know what you think down below. She absolutely loved it. So you'll see that I recreated this in the green color scheme for her, just to give her some options. And then I went back and I changed up that first flyer to a photo that she preferred. So you'll see that at the end. But this is the process I went through to make that transformation. So I hope you enjoyed it all, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have you tapped into your pharmacy benefits? As a beneficiary, you unlock special offers, gifts, and always stay in the loop. Subscribe today to receive your exclusive dose. Visit pharmacybenefits.com. Introducing the Pharmacy Lab, where visionary entrepreneurs unite to build unforgettable brands. Are you tired of feeling like your brand is just a face in the crowd? Do you dream of creating a loyal community that advocates for your business? You're not alone. Building a remarkable brand requires more than just a great product or service. It demands a deep understanding of your audience, a clear vision, and a supportive community to help you bring it all together. That's why we created the Pharmacy Lab, a vibrant community of entrepreneurs who are passionate about crafting amazing brands that leave a lasting impact. Are you ready to join the movement? If you're an entrepreneur who's passionate about building an unforgettable brand, we invite you to join the Pharmacy Lab today. So visit pharmacylab.com to join.